we haven't operated a golf course yet.
Yeah.
Other than a couple months getting it ready. So these numbers may be different when we look at them a year from now and say, okay, what have we actually spent in it? Because next spring, we'll have that whole season
Right.
behind us, and
Yeah, true.
we'll know what
Right.
that is, so.
And the other thing that you actually said was because of a late start.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people thought that why is this being rushed? But I do remember, we were being told that a lot of people book their tournaments in October, November. I mean, am I correct that you have to plan that far? And when would you normally start selling memberships? February, March?
Yeah, it depends on the course, but, some do like early bird specials, in February. If we're not gonna
Right.
offer any discount, I mean, we run on probably at least by March.
Yeah,
Right.
so
And-
unfortunately,
good point.
tournaments are not the windfall for us that they are if we were selling the food and drink. So we just get our normal greens fees and cart rentals, they're good because you concentrate them all into one time period. You really get a lot of people out there once, much more than you could probably have out, a foursome at a time.
Yeah, I mean,
So
typically.
they're good that way.
Right. And that makes a difference too, right, when you're looking at the catering and, we only had one person bid on it, and that's what we had to work with. So I thought people should understand that. I know people kept saying, why is this being rushed? But it was because of, to close on it, it was because you had to get ready for the season so that there was enough time. And then, you had your neighbor sue the city, so that delayed, the city at
Who,
least
him?
a month. So, what's that?
No,
No,
no.
He's the one who sued the city.
Well, that was
Sued the city.
to give
No, your
standing
neighbor, Ms. Blevins.
for an issue.
my neighbor.
in
Yes.
December, your
on-
commercial
Oh,
building
I
neighbor.
did
I live
sue
on
the city.
Kai's Ave.
Your
and-
neighbor
right.
on Washington Street property.
Yes.
I had her sue?
Well,
You
you
asked for
called for
somebody
them,
to sue the
somebody
city.
please sue the
You
city.
actually asked for somebody to sue the city.
He actually sued the city.
I did sue the city for standing
not
when
what we're
Mr.
talking
Sameo was
about
suing
today.
over the parking lot.
But
You're
that,
correct.
but that delayed everything by at
And I
least a
agreed
month.
with him.
Because they couldn't close, the city couldn't do anything to be prepared because nobody knew which direction it was. So now that we're
Thank
where
you.
we are, I think it's important to look at how this year works, obviously. I think there are a lot of positives, and I don't think people want to keep talking politics and keep playing the same, it's a broken record. Okay, now we got to work with it, and let's do what we can. And I think, staff, they're doing an excellent job with what they have, and that's that. I mean, it's done. It's time, everybody keeps saying, not everybody, some here keep saying it's time to move forward, and then throw something out there that's negative. It's time to let staff
Well, I know you'd
do
like
what they want to do.
you'd like to forget and sweep under the carpet the lack of transparency in the deal, the fact that there was no appraisal, and all of the stuff that went on. And I know you want to not focus on the continued
What
increased
does that have to do with the
cost.
budget? Can you tell me? What does
Yes.
that have to do
We
with
just
the
spent-
budget?
We just spent $55,000 on electrical. You want to know specifically? I'll give you a specific what it has to do with the budget.
Is that playing with the budget?
We
We have
spent,
electrical in here in
we
the
have-
budget right now?
we
No.
we have $55,000 we just spent because it was
That's
not
right.
Let me
properly
correct you, Mayor.
inspected.
It
That's
wasn't
right.
we spent.
And you both
And-
voted
and
against
We-
it.
Exactly.
Three of
And
us
so let
voted
me
for
ask
that
you,
expenditure.
If there was a third vote and the
right.
electrical could not be done, there would be no tournaments, there would be no nothing, no caterer, no nothing.
Why?
So please, because if you didn't have the electrical done, how could you operate?
You did what he did last year, had catering outside and everything.
Well,
How much
it had to
more
be done.
taxpayer dollars you going to
It
spend on
had
this?
to be done.
Had to be done.
Because you want to use the interior, I mean, you want to move the pro shop into the clubhouse. The electrical had to be done for that, many reasons.
Well,
But anyway, I think
55,000.
it's time, one thing I think,
Is
is there anything else that you can add as far as the marketing part of this and where you think you might be able to make improvements in terms of attracting people? Is there anything else that you can add to that?
Yeah, we've done some marketing already, and then again, tournaments are a hot topic, but our bread and butter, where we make our money, is on daily play. And that's why there were some changes made to the membership. We didn't do the Lisa seat because, again, we need to capture every dollar possible, but getting, doing the advertising, we did 7 News, we're doing stuff with Spectrum, we've got the commercial out there. It's just getting people to the golf course. So, yes, tournaments are down, and they're gonna be down for a couple of years. It's gonna take a couple of years to get that all back. We need to focus on our daily green fee.
I've got a question about the marketing. Do you see any possibility of Spokes partnering with us for marketing?
Yeah, we've talked about that, just kind of, haven't, not from an expense side, but just like, hey, what if we did a commercial that was, the golf course and
Yeah,
Spokes?
because I
So,
think that would help
Yeah.
attract the non-golfers.
Yeah. Mr. Mix, you had said you had some projections for the golf course down the road when things get smoothed out somewhat. Could you repeat what you had mentioned? I think it was somewhere 200 or something. You think the golf course can make money?
Oh,
I know we have a
well,
higher
I
expense.
think it's reasonable to expect $450,000 to $500,000 in revenue just from the greens fees and cart rentals, operation part of it.
Okay.
Question is whether you can make that go up a little bit to reach our expenses. I think our expenses are probably higher than what they would normally put into them.
Yeah, wages and
Another
benefits.
thing is that I really never expected really much of the pro shop, but I think George has been talking about more selling merchandise in the pro shop, so there's a revenue source there. So everything you can squeak out and put into the revenue side of it will help.
Well, it's still an unknown, I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, yeah, okay.